show. So,
What is this?
Well, it's my pregame bear show that we do for Chicago Clubhouse Network.
Oh.
But so as soon as that's done, you're gonna be here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Mitzi.
I'll come back. All right, come this way. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Chicago Bears pregame show for Chicago Clubhouse Network. I'm actually live down here in Minnesota. Coach Chef, he should be on here shortly, but I am doing some tailgating, as you can see, and I'm actually in the BWO tailgating lot with several of the super fans. I do have my mini-me with me today. Of course, she's a Packer fan. Some people that you know can get you on. I'm doing the Chicago Bears pregame podcast. Can I get you on?
Sure.
Everybody knows this guy.
Bear down, baby. Bear down.
We got Chicago Billy defense.
The house, baby. Representing.
So we also have some of the huge Chicago Bears super fans down here as well. We got some of the awesome Vikings people down here. So it's kind of been an experience. Like I said, wow, wasn't expecting to go live. It's been a great couple days coming down to Minnesota, enjoying this. That's the camera. I hope everybody can kind of hear me because it's loud down here. I'll maybe walk a little bit out of the tailgating area. The Chicago Bears tailgating is on the very end of where I'm at. Sorry. Of course, behind me is US Bank Stadium, where I will be later. Hello, good morning, Coach Chef. How are you today?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you?
Awesome. I'm having a wonderful time down here in Minnesota.
I bet you are.
I am actually later. I don't know what this thing is, but there is it Sir Kool-Aid? He does like a belly bump with opposing teams. Somehow I got tucked into doing that, which we will record, so that should make for a great reel.
Hey, as they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone once said that. I don't know who said that. But
I don't know either. I'm a little nervous because they're like, make sure someone can catch you. And I'm like, what? They're like, make sure someone can catch you. And I'm like, oh, what did I get into?
Must be a big fella.
He is. I got some awesome pictures with Sir Jeff. A lot of the super fans. Billy Defense from Chicago is down here. So that's been awesome. These people I have known through the internet, but have met them in person. So it's been great down here. Very great.
Awesome. How was your daughter enjoying it?
Before, when we came to the tailgating, she had on 3 jerseys. She had her Packer jerseys on. She had a Thielen jersey on top of the Packers one. And then she had my Brian Urlacher's jersey. Needless to say, I'm lucky the motel is right over there because I had to walk back and put my Brian Urlacher in the Thielen jersey back in the vehicle. And she is running around down here now wearing a Rodgers jersey. And they are doing amazing supporting her down here in the Packers jersey. Great people. I've met nothing but awesome people down here. So
great job. Except for your daughter wearing Packers gear. Boo.
But she's having a good time, and you know what? Even the Bears fans, our Bears fans, have encouraged her to wear that jersey. The Vikings fans have encouraged her to wear that jersey, so that's been awesome.
You know, Minnesota's a nice place. They're nice people up there in
Yes,
Minnesota.
very nice people. Like I said, quite a few of them here, and you know, with the tailgating, I'm with the VWO over here tailgating with yesterday. I've had awesome Matthew Chesterton for VWO was showing me around, doing a great job introducing me, my daughter, to some of the super fans for the Vikings. I couldn't be more happy with this. So, yes, my pants are, I don't know if everybody can see it, but white pants on today and the boots. And I do actually have my Walter Payton jersey on underneath the coat, which I'll take off when we get into the stadium. It's still a bit chilly down here, so. All
Okay,
right,
that's what's
so
up.
what do you got for us today on the show?
Well, I pre-warned everyone last week. Without you and you enjoying yourself, they're going to get a whole bunch of stats.
Oh,
But but no, we're going to break down last week's unfortunate loss. Um, then we're going to pretty much take a look at what we typically take a look at. I did want to go with you early because I knew that it would be a tight time constraint for you. So I'm scrambling, making sure I have enough stuff. 'Cause, you know, I got to do a whole lot of talking today. Going to break down the rest of the NFC North. Going to break down our opponent, Minnesota Vikings, who are tied. Actually, they have the division lead as far as record goes. In the division record, and they're tied with overall record with the Packers. We're in third, and then Detroit's pulling up the rear, but Detroit is still scoring points. So um, don't do that. We're going to talk about the Bear. I was going to talk about the Green Bay Giants game live in England. That's at halftime right now. Um, and we're just going to review the Bears, Minnesota, break it down, give them the money line prediction, and then we're going to be out. So I've got an hour worth of content because I spread a lot of things out, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm definitely glad we were able to have you live with us down up there, not down there, up there in Minnesota. Well, from where I am, it's up there. From you, it's kind of over there. Over there
it's
from
over and down a little bit from where I normally am, but
yeah.
yes.
So you could say I'm down in Minnesota. I'll be like, you're up there in Minnesota.
Yep.
I don't think anyone has that current accent in Minnesota. I don't know. That's like a Bobby's World reference to his mom, Howie
Dude,
Mondale.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm about ready to go like see what's in that cooler with the little Vikings
Hey,
thing running. Did you see
hey, hey, do the thing. Be safe. Hope your daughter enjoys her time, even though she's a Packers fan. I don't know how I feel about that.
I know I got her over there right now with a bunch of Vikings fans, so I think she's okay. They're kind of babysitting for me in the BWO parking lot while I'm kind of standing over here so I could hear. There's a
Right.
whole Bears crew that's just set up over on this corner, as you can see. So we got a
Cool,
lot of
cool.
support down here for Bears fans for this game, which is cool.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm really hoping you enjoy yourself and your daughter, and you all have, you enjoy the game. You enjoy that mother-daughter bond, even though she has a Packers jersey on, and you all stay safe and enjoying your time. Looks beautiful. Excuse me. Small note. Pre-pandemic. Excuse me again. I was supposed to go up to Minnesota for a Gophers game. I had this big elaborate idea about 4 or 5 years ago of visiting all the Big Ten cities. So the year before the pandemic, oh my goodness, the year before the pandemic, I went up to Madison, Wisconsin to check out Minnesota versus, I forgot who they played. It might have been, no, I'm sorry, Wisconsin versus Minnesota. It might have been someone else. And then the next year was supposed to go up to Minnesota to watch. I think Minnesota played my favorite football team, the Fighting Illini, but the pandemic hit. And I haven't got them back on track, but I know Minnesota's a beautiful city. They have a lot of food up there, a lot of culture up there. So, yeah, I need to clear my throat. So, to tell us some more about what's around you.
Around down here where I'm at. Okay, so kind of down here, I just kind of this Well, as everybody can see, there's the stadium. This is they call it the quarterback tailgating lot. They call that one the quarterback tailing lot. Right over there, I don't know if you can kind of see it. That is right across the street from the hotel I stayed in last night, and they call that the purple lot. And I guess that's where a lot of the season ticket holders kind of party. And then if I walk down a little bit more and I scan this way, there's you got bears there, everything else. And actually, at the end of the super fan for where VWO and all the major super fans are, there is a whole group of Chicago Bears fans at the very end. And I don't know if it will show on here, but the flag is kind of, if I can get it, the flag is flying for Chicago down that area. So it's basically a lot of tailgating going on. Great fans, great people. Kind of one big party right now around the stadium, I guess. So that's kind of what's around me, as you can see. And of course.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know how many people are viewing have been up to Minnesota, so just you giving us a quick rundown is awesome. I'm having some lighting issues, but awesome. So we're about 12 minutes in. Thank you for opening it up for us. The Giants Packers, I think, have begun the second half. I don't want to hold you up. I know the game starts at noon. I know you're probably going to go in the stadium probably about 11:15, 11:20.
Yep, that's what I said. I'm probably going back because I definitely want to do this belly bump thing. I want to see how it works. I'm probably going to fall on my ass, but you gotta try it.
And I lost that last part, but that's okay. I definitely want you to enjoy yourself, and I don't want you to be talking to me and us the entire time to stop you from enjoying yourself. So I'm going to let you enjoy your beer. What you drinking?
Somebody actually gave me a pale ale. First drink in
Is it guess? Castle Cream? Does that say Castle Cream?
It is.
Oh, I can read. Oh, well, look at that. Jocks can read. Is that like
that's what they give me down here in Minnesota.
Oh, I was going to say, I was like, is that a Minnesota? Is it from like a Minnesota local brewery or something?
I'm not sure. That's just what some of the Vikings fans, they come in, and I wasn't going to have anything. Just have one, you'll be fine. So I've been this for the last 2 hours, and I still haven't hit bottom.
Oh, ooh, you know what? I think that you've been taking it easy on us. You've been babysitting for the sake of giving us a good presentation. I respect your professionalism.
Well, but I do have to get home back to North Dakota sometime today. And yesterday was a very long day. We did that haunted ghost ship in Duluth. So, not gonna lie, it's been a long couple days.
Awesome. So once again, we really appreciate you taking the time out to to let us know what's going on with you. And I'm unceremoniously going to have to let you go. Not for the fact that we don't want you, but we want you to enjoy yourself. You paid good money to spend time with you and your daughter to enjoy a Bears game live in a very nice city, a very lovely city. So, Brooke, thank you so much. Enjoy your Sunday.
My prediction. So we get my prediction.
Oh yes. Prediction. Yes. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go with the Minnesota Vikings on here. 32-17.
32-17. Wow. 32. That's not a close game at all.
I'm wrong, but that's what I'm gonna have to go with.
32-17 Minnesota. Got you. That is your prediction. All right. Thank you for your prediction. 32-17 Minnesota. Thank you for spending some time with us today, this early morning, Central Standard Time all over. And enjoy your time, young lady.
All right. Have a good day. Thanks, guys, for having me on. Bear down.
Bear down. Well, hello again, everyone. Coach Chef D. Muhammad with you for the CCP Chicago Clubhouse Network Bears pregame show. The lovely Brooke are my co-host. She was able to go live with us from Minnesota for today's game, which starts at noon Central Time. She gave us a good look. It looks really nice out there. I've never heard anything negative about Minnesota. I mean, the few things I've heard negative about Minnesota are just because typically people from Chicago are so used to a bigger city and a lot more people and a lot bigger things that this town, Minnesota, just seems small. But that's all relative. Obviously, I'm going to bring some stuff to you. We're going to start with a quick synopsis of the past unfortunate week. In fact, before we do that, if my producer can go ahead and run those highlights from last week's game that went so well for our Bears. No? No? Okay. All right. It's okay. I thought we were gonna have that queued up. It's all right. But well, I can just break it down statistically and just what I saw, pros and cons. Obviously, the fear we had last week was that the Giants would get off with the running game with Saquon Barkley. They did exactly that. And Saquon Barkley ran wild. Well, I would say ran wild. I think they kept him under check relatively. I mean, he had 146 yards, but it did take him 31 carries. That's kind of some old school football. They're taking that many carries to get to 146 yards. Excuse me. I'm trying to get my tablet. But he didn't have any touchdowns. The big issue I saw last week, and most of you saw last week, was the fact that for some reason our defensive ends couldn't, and our defense just kept falling for the bootleg. Naked boot, play action boot, whatever it was, we kept falling for. Daniel Jones, who only passed for 77 yards. He had a very, I guess, unceremonious Justin Fields day. He went 8 for 13 for 77 yards. He had 68 yards on 6 carries and 2 touchdowns. Opening drive and another drive, and we just couldn't seem to get the boot. In fact, one of our standouts, rookies, actually the best rookie we have this year, Jaquan Brisker, who is playing lights out. That young man, when I bring some film study, when I finally get my things together, that man, work has been crazy for me. But he played outstanding. Daniel Jones went out with like an ankle sprain. He's actually playing today. He started versus the Packers. Jaquan had a sack today. He was the only Bear to get who registered a sack. Unfortunate. Unfortunately, we can't have that. On the other end, the Bears' offensive line, who looked abysmal, allowed 6 sacks. 6 sacks. Allowed 6 sacks. The Giants blitzed Justin on passing down 16 times. They pressured him. Of his 22 passes, he was pressured, I believe, 12 times. Awful. In fact, the entire Giants offense was pretty much Daniel Jones booting and Saquon Barkley running the ball, like I said. The final score obviously was 20-12. So, yeah, 2 touchdowns from Daniel Jones, 2 field goals, obviously. We kept the passing game under check. We weren't really fearful of Daniel Jones. He was missing a lot of receivers. I think the only standout receiver he had was his tight end, Bellringer. Bellringer actually has a touchdown today versus the Packers. And for our Bears offense, we didn't look good. Justin didn't look bad. He did throw 11 for 22, 50%, which isn't good, especially by 2000 standards, maybe in 1985. Going 50% passing is amazing. He still is having some struggles there, but he was pressured quite a bit, quite a bit. Yeah, he went 11 for 22, 174 yards. We did have a big play to Darnell Mooney in the first half. I think the first drive as well for 56 yards. That was a long, but everything was kept under check offensively. We couldn't get really started. Justin also had 52 yards rushing to last week. Khalil Herbert had a pretty solid game. He was 19 carries for 77 yards. Ebner had 6 carries for 20 yards as a fill-in, but none of them could really stand out. No one stood out last week. Anyone who saw the game, people can chime in. We'll go to a lot of comments today. There's nothing that stood out positively for the Bears. Justin had some strong points, but they also had some weak points. But that offensive line they looked the worst they've looked all season, actually. In the 4th game of the season, they looked worse than they've looked the entire season, just by the naked eye. The receivers, As much as we talk about how much they're not showing up, these two guys are the leading receivers this year, Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet. Like, no matter what you say, those guys are leading us in catches. They're 1 and 2 in yards. They're 1 and 2, I believe, or I think Kmet might be third behind Equinemy and St. Brown, who was invisible. Dante Pettis was invisible. Guys who the national media told us we didn't have enough offensive weapons, and we didn't believe them. We, as fans, not being critical, thought that we had enough. We had a number one receiver. I'm sorry, guys. Darnell Mooney is not a number one receiver. He's a fringe two. Dan Orlovsky called him a 3. I think that's absurd. I think there's, out of the 32 teams, Mooney being a 1, he's probably bottom tier. He's probably between 25, whatever the 25th receiver is, who's a number 1 to 32. He's not the worst number 1, but he's definitely not the best number 1. He's not even the average number 1. Our backup tight end who came in that we signed off of free agency, Westco last week, had a big catch of 23 yards, but other than that, the team did fumble 4 times. We lost 2 of them. We had a big, huge fumble by the rookie in his first game who didn't get any offensive snaps, and Bayless Jones Jr. He had a huge fumble. I wasn't even upset. I mean, the kid, it's his first pro game as a pro in week 4. He's been hurt. People have been talking a lot of shit about him. You know, the pressure, man. Hey, you got to learn. You got to take your lumps. I know we get really into the fact that us fans or the fans want, oh, this guy's not playing well. Can we bench him? How many guys are we going to bench? How many guys are we going to bench? We don't have a lot of depth as it is. Benching guys isn't the answer. Signing a bunch of free agents necessarily isn't the answer if they're not going to sink in with what the team is. You can't just it's bad enough. We already have enough what they call them, mercenaries on the team on 1-year contracts. So we just got to coach the guys up. We got to root for the guys, and we just got to push on. The only standouts on defense I saw, obviously, Eddie Jackson with another INT. Yes, I think Eddie is back. I haven't seen any games where he's clearly not playing up to par. He's easily playing better than he has the past year and a half, down, not even without question. Also, Roquan Smith had 10 tackles. Nothing spectacular from him in this game. But there was really nothing spectacular from anyone in this game on the defensive side besides Brisker. Let's see. What else do we have? The Giants' defense did stand out. Like I said, we allowed 6 sacks. 5. It was 5 or 6. 6. No, he was sacked 6 times. Dexter Lawrence sacked him twice. Jaheed Ward, a couple other guys sacked him. One of their linebackers who had a great game, had a sack, had 11 tackles, had a forced fumble. We didn't look good. I know when we were talking about some breakdown last week, based on my last week's notes, let me see. Anything that stood out that I saw from those notes? I don't know. Those are my Houston notes. I don't know. I can't find my notes from last week, but it's okay. All I know is we didn't look good. The only other bright side was our backup kicker. Our backup kicker came in and he played. He scored all our points. I mean, you can't get any better than scoring all of the team's points, being a free agent guy who comes on late, who fills in for a guy who has been doing quite well and performs. He performed well. Of course, my tablet isn't working right now. But, okay. Yeah. Okay. There we are. Man, when you run the show by yourself, you don't have a whole lot of lag time to get things together. Hey, you got to learn, live and learn. So, okay, nothing wants to work today. That's unfortunate. Even though I had fixed my Wi-Fi last week, we're still having some technical difficulties. My tablet. Okay, here we go. So, obviously, the score last week was the score 20-12. We obviously lost. We did not look good. The only standouts, like I said, I saw were Jaquan Brisker and our punter Michael Badgley. That's what I was looking for. I think I called him Bradley or Bagley last week. It's Badgley. Michael Badgley had 3 field goals. He had a 35-yard field goal, a 40-yard field goal, a 22-yard field goal, and a 29-yard field goal. He scored all of the Bears' points in that game. So yeah, that's the only idea. The only other thing I wanted to break down was the offensive line in that game. We didn't look good. Once again, people were criticizing. I know I saw people criticizing the rookie left tackle, the second-year tackle, Borum. I think those guys played okay. The only people to play 100% of the offensive snaps were Borum, Sam Mustipher, unfortunately, Braxton Jones, and Justin Fields. We still had Lucas Patrick splitting snaps with Tevin Jenkins. Jenkins actually played a higher percentage of the snaps this week. He played 76% of them. But the reason I believe he only did that is because, unfortunately, Cody Whitehair went out with an injury. I forgot what the injury was, but I'm definitely going to take a look at that. I'm doing some more better research. Whitehair went out pretty early because he only played 27 snaps. So he played in maybe a third of the snaps. There were 62 total offensive snaps. And let's talk about the elephant in the room for me. That's Lucas Patrick. Lucas Patrick, I know he was out with an injury. Maybe he didn't get the lift, but he's 4 weeks in and he's not looking good. He does not look good at guard. He looked even worse at left guard when Whitehair went out. He was getting tossed all around, getting pushed back. There was a play where he essentially got ushered. He got ushered back. The defensive lineman ushered him, took him with him on his path to the quarterback, Justin Fields. Right now, the only standout offensive lineman is the guy who a lot of us were questioning. I didn't question him. Was Tevin Jenkins. I've been a big Tevin Jenkins guy since the draft process. About 2 months before the Bears actually selected him. I thought they should have took him in the first round pick. He ended up sliding to us the second pick after a trade that the old Pace made, Ryan Pace, that is. What else? Anything that stands out? No, nothing else stands out. Besides the fact that Equanimous St. Brown played 95% of the snaps, which means he played 59 of the 62 snaps, and he did not have a reception, although they have him with a 5-yard catch based on the stats, which I find very confusing. Guys are not getting open. We don't have time to throw them the ball, and Justin is also obviously having issues with getting the ball thrown. We did have 2 drops. Mooney had a drop, and then Trayvon Westco. That's his name, Trayvon? Oh, he doesn't look like a Trayvon. I'm judging. Doesn't he had a drop as well. Let's see what we got on comments. Let's see what we got. Frank Marshall. Nope. How those people like those pants. We got a Packers fan on here, Junior Kinza or whatever. It's a Packers fan. Go Pack, go. Bears are trash. You're trash, buddy. Oh yeah. Shout out for our producer. If anybody would like to come on, please go to the link provided. If my fingers work, slice my finger at work. Come on. Producer, help me out. Hit the link. Show the link so everybody can see it. No? Okay. Okay, you have to go to StreamYard. You would go to StreamYard.com/RFRMDSSI88. Once again, StreamYard.com RFRMD6SI, the letter I, 88, so you can come on and jump on with me to help me out with today's show since I'm missing my lovely co-host. Hopefully we're not losing any followers because of that. So let's break down the rest of the NFC from last week real fast. It's already 10:30. Last week, Minnesota scraped it out. Oh, there we go. Thank you. That is the link. If you'd like to come on, give your opinion, give your 2 cents, give me your 2 cents. I went on a very elaborate rant last week about the fan base in Chicago and what I thought of how you all are perceiving Justin Fields and this team and expectations. Come jump on and give me a piece of your goddamn mind. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm not going to cut you off, but I'm going to correct your ass because I know you don't know what the hell you're talking about, which is hilarious because here at CCP, Chicago Clubhouse Network, we think we know everything, but really we don't know shit. But actually, I know quite a bit. Anyway, Minnesota squeaked it out 28-25 versus the Saints without Jameis Winston. I think a last-minute field goal missed for the Saints. Why they got out of that matchup. Green Bay, everyone had a tough game last week except for us. Green Bay had to beat New England who was out without Mac Jones, 27-24 in overtime. That was interesting in itself. So they went deep. Not Brett Favre. Good God, I'm having ridiculous flashbacks. Aaron Rodgers threw interception. He has 3 interceptions. It's like the most interceptions he's thrown in the first 4 games since 2017. This is a weird stat I saw today. Oh yeah, come on. 27-24, and then Detroit was in a barn burner. Man, a huge offensive breakout from Detroit and Seattle. In Detroit, they lost 45-48. But that was a big game, man. I'm telling you, Detroit can score points. They can freaking score a lot of points. So everyone, we went 2-2 in the division. Packers won, Minnesota won, Detroit, and obviously our Bears were unfortunate and lost. See, who was a standout in last week's game for Minnesota and the Saints? Come on. I don't think anyone stood out. I didn't see all of the highlights. But Kirk Cousins was Kirk Cousins. 273 yards, 25-38, touchdown, interception, typical Kirk Cousins. Devin Cook only had 76 yards and 20 carries, so they kept him under check. Jordan Jefferson did have another big game. He did have a touchdown on a rush. Must have been some type of reverse or something. He did have 10 catches for 147 yards. Adam Thielen, who I don't even think is a legit number 2 anymore. He's starting to get older, long in the tooth. He had 8 catches for 72 yards. Last week, our former Bear, Andy Dalton, played, and he did okay. 20 for 28, 236 yards, a touchdown. They had a good mix of rushing from the Saints with Murray and Ingram because everything back was out of the game. None of their receivers really stood out besides Chris Olave, the rookie. So, yeah, they got out with a last-minute late field goal that was missed by the Saints. Minnesota ends up winning that. If we progress, just a quick rundown of the New England game really fast. New England was not successful in beating the Packers. I wish they were, but they were not. And it's okay, I suppose. That was 27-24. I know that Mac Jones did not play. Horrible defense in Detroit. Hey, look, man. Hey, Frank. I told you all that Detroit can score, but they can't stop anybody. Okay? I told you all that weeks ago, at least 2 weeks ago, and that's why I have fear because any team that can score a lot of points, we can't score as Bears fans, as a team. So if they get to 27-plus points, I don't think we're going to have a shot. We haven't shown that we can put up any amount of significant points on a regular basis. And my fantasy team benefited from it. Brashard Penny had a great game. He helped me a lot in that game. So, yeah. And that was a high-scoring game. You know, people talk about Jared Goff, but that offense is they move the ball, man. And that's the name of the game the name of the game is winning. But to win the game, it helps if you can score. Oh, my goodness. My thing is working. I can't even filibuster right now. Okay, let's move on. So right now, I'm going to move my camera so I can move my face, but I'm going to still talk. Right now, it's on commercial, but live. We had a game in England today with Green Bay and the Giants. And right now, the score in the third quarter, they're on commercial break, but I backtracked. With less than 4 minutes left in the third, the score is 2013 Green Bay. I'm not sure who scored. I know that for the Giants, their tight end did score. I know Brett Favre again. I'm still just ridiculously upset about how he handled the whole thing in Mississippi, his alleged home state. Um, but yeah, Green Bay is up right now. Hopefully, Giants can mount a comeback. That way to make us feel better as fans, even though there's not a lot to feel good about. Okay, my tablet is acting a little better. So last week's game, Green Bay, like I said, beat the Patriots. Mason Crosby hits a late field goal, 31 yards to win that game. New England played two quarterbacks. None of them threw interceptions. They ran the ball quite well. They ran the ball for what, almost 167 yards for New England. But Green Bay ran for 199. They have an amazing run game. Aaron Rodgers looked like Aaron Rodgers minus an interception. He was only sacked once. Aaron Jones had 100 yards. Dylan had 73. Who stood out? Alan Lazar stood out for the Packers, obviously. And the Packers won, unfortunately, for all of us Bears fans. And then I definitely want to talk about the Detroit game really fast, since we're ahead on time quite a bit. Their game with Seattle. And whoever thought Seattle would be playing good this time of year, I know this is about the Bears, but Seattle's been a very big surprise with Geno Smith, former second round pick out of West Virginia. He's playing quite well. They score a lot of points, man. I don't know if you were able to see the highlights of that game. Anyone was, but the game was pretty damn entertaining. Much more entertaining than watching the goddamn Packers, I reassure you. But once again, that was big. Let's see if we're back live. New in England. Nope. Bad angle here. Daniel Jones on the run right now with a flag for a first down. So Daniel Jones is still running around, causing havoc for all of us. Oh, thank you, Frank. The Packers just punted it, but that's a little late for me. I'm watching it live right now. Yeah, that's what we got. So I had a couple ideas for some other segments where we have, or maybe we don't play 16 games anymore. We play 17. But really, the NFL season, how the NFL teams break up, they break it up in quarters. 16 games, even with 17, is quarter season. Every 4 games is one quarter. Can we win the first quarter? Can we win the second quarter? What's our record after the first 4 games? What's our record after the second 4 games? What's our record after the third 4 games and the fourth? But really, you can still break it down like this. So you can break it down 4, 4, 4, and 5. That's still roughly a quarter, since we're dealing with an odd number, not an even number anymore. Oh my goodness, this tablet is killing me. So the Bears' first quarter football, we are 2-2. We are very underwhelming 2-2 because we don't even look like a 2-2 team at this point. But we are 2-2. You are what your record is. Just to backtrack, quick breakdown of how Seattle-Detroit went. Geno Smith went 23 for 30, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashard Penny had 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Even Geno had a good game rushing. DK Metcalf got off those in fantasy world, 149 yards, 7 catches. Tyler Lockett, a guy who I think the Bears should go after next year. He's still got vertical speed. He's an older guy, but he's a veteran who can still play. If you throw him the ball, he can still catch it. 8 targets, 6 catches for him, 91 yards. Their tight end scored, and Noah Fent, another tight end from a trade, scored. Jared Goff played big in the loss, 26 for 39, 378 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jamal Williams had 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. With the fact that that Swift, their more better all-purpose back, he was out. T.J. Hawkinson, former Iowa tight end, had a huge damn game. 179 yards from a tight end, 2 touchdowns on 8 catches with a long of 81. I sat him in fantasy. I still won my games, but man, that would have put me over the top some of my leagues. But yeah, that game was a high scoring game or whatnot. So back to just want to segue quick right now to me going back to the first quarter of that football season for our Bears. Hold up. Let's go to a comment real fast. Burning Fairly, producer, if you can bring that up, because I can't seem to touch. Oh, there we go. Can we get Richard Sherman by Getsy just to run the ball when the Bears are on the goal line? You know what? Good job, Vernon. I agree. I'm sick of shotgun draws. It's very naggy-ish. Vernon, if you want to come on the show, man, producer, put the link up. Come on, give me your opinion. Hey, don't be nervous, whether you are on cam or just your mic. We would love to have some discourse. I definitely want to enter fans in more often. There you go. That's the link. Hit the link. Come on the show. Anyone who wants to come on, give me your opinion of what you saw. Maybe we saw the same things. Maybe you missed something I didn't see. Maybe I missed something you didn't see last week. And give us your 2 cents on this week's game. Yes, we're not good in the goddamn red zone. I don't like to play calling the red zone. I don't think we pass to our bigger guys enough. I don't think I think we should call more outside zone. We're an outside zone team now. Run the goddamn outside zone. Why are we running in between the guards when our guards are not good, especially if you're not going to run to the right side? Especially, definitely now you can't run to the left because you got Lucas Patrick on the goddamn left side. So run to the right side. Let's run outside zone to the right. Put some tight ends in motion. We got tight ends. We got a fullback. Put those guys in motion. Let's get to the edge and allow our backs to make one cut and get up the field. Or run some draws, man, but not out of fucking shotgun. We don't look like a very good team. We're ranked at the bottom of the league. Pretty much all statistical stats to be 2-2. Our defense has played better than advertised this season. So I would say I would give the team by record. I would give them an A+. I didn't think we'd be 2-2. I know people said we would have a weak record, but it's the NFL, man. Everyone's getting paid to do this. But as a performance, I would definitely give us a C-. I would give the coaching staff defensively. I would give the coaching staff a C. Offensively, I would give the coaching staff a C-, and I'm being generous with the C-. Not enjoying the play calling at all. So if you want to come on and talk about the first 4 games in synopsis with any way you would like to, you're more than welcome to come on the show and give your opinion. So let's go ahead. I already reviewed the game for today. No, I didn't. So in the NFC North, we have three games today. We play a division rival today in Minnesota. Right now, the Giants and Packers, still 2013 Packers. It's the beginning of the fourth. First, it's 15 minutes left in the fourth. Yeah, they just started the fourth quarter. It's still 2013, so this game is much more close than I guess some people thought it would be. And then Detroit plays New England. Detroit plays New England today. Just quick stats here. Offensively, the Bears are 30th in points scored. With 31st out of 32 teams in yards, total yards. Let's see what else. Passing the ball with 32nd in attempts, 32nd in yards, with 31st in touchdowns. So that's shocking. Running the ball, we are top 10 with number 3 in attempts, with third in yards, we're 6th in touchdowns. We're even 4th in yards per carry at 5.2 a carry. So the line can still push. So yeah. But yeah, we don't look good, man. Our season high in points this year is 23. Our season low is 10. So we don't look good at all. Excuse me. I'm on a 6-day work week, people. Anyway, so let's quickly break down the rest of the NFC. The rest of the NFC, which will be the later action, will be Detroit at New England. I think Mac Jones is still out for them. But, man, I'm like I said, man, I am not an advocate of Detroit, but I think they're doing a hell of a lot better than we thought they'd be doing at this point. Okay, I don't want to go to the injury report. They are 1-3. They don't look that good but I think they're first in points. Yes. So huge stat. No one would thought a 1 in 3 team is first in points and yards. The Detroit Lions are first in points scored, but coincidentally they're 32nd in points allowed. They are first in total yards for their offense, but they allow the most, and they're allowing the most to where the fact they're 32nd in the league. As far as passing, they're top 15 or top 10 in yards, top 5 in yards. Well, they're 15 yards, they're 11th in attempts. They're first in touchdown. Jared Goff really leads the league in touchdown passes. Holy shit! And then running the ball, they're top 10. So their offense is outstanding. Their defense is atrocious, especially their run defense. But they go against New England today, who I don't know. They're at New England, so I would give New England that based off of that. But they do score a lot of points, so if Bill Belichick and them can keep them under check, I think. But I wouldn't doubt that Detroit can win. All right, it's 10:46. We're slightly ahead on time, so we're going to go ahead and do some breakdown of the Minnesota. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Minnesota Bears, Minnesota today. What we got? I didn't do a lot of notes this week. Been crazy busy. But these are some things I did want to break down. We still have injuries. Crookshank may not play today. Jalen Johnson, I like to call him JJ, our number 1 cornerback. I think he's still doubtful. Excuse me. David Montgomery is also questionable, I believe. Minnesota is huge on. They have quite a few threats. Some I respect more than others. Of course, you have Kirk Cousins. I like to call him midday Kirk, which means he plays great during the midday. If it's a 1 o'clock game, he plays amazing. If it's a 4 o'clock game, he plays still pretty good. If it's a primetime game, Sunday night, Thursday night, Monday night, he plays pretty damn poor. But he does already have 1,000 yards in 4 games. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Dalvin Cook has not gotten off this year, but he's still a dangerous weapon Minnesota has. He's got 270 yards in the past 4 games. Even their backup Matheson, he's pretty good. The receivers are obviously all-world Justin Jefferson. He's got 2 touchdowns receiving. I think he has 1 rushing. I got to stop moving so much. It's like I got ADD over here. Can't stop moving. Can't do that in the live stream. He got 28 catches. You got Adam Thielen, who has 21. He's clearly their number 2, but he's starting to slow down. He's not the big play that he was previously. Will Bears run defense stop Minnesota? I don't know. We haven't stopped anyone this year. We've allowed 100 yards rushing by every team except one, and that was Houston. And Houston's running back, a rookie, still had 80 yards and 20 carries. So that's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know. It depends how healthy Dalvin Cook is. I think if they run the ball versus, they're going to be more successful. Even their third string tight end, KJ Osborne, has 100 yards this year, and they have a pretty decent tight end in Irv Smith Jr., former Alabama tight end. Let's go back to the comments real fast. Giants in the red zone, but Barkley got hurt. Goddamn, hope that young man's not hurt after fighting back from injury. Might have dislocated his shoulder. Oh, that's not that bad. Bears run through the can't stop the University of Minnesota. Okay, I'm not going to go that far, Frank. I'm not going to go that far. But their run defense isn't good. We're definitely at the bottom in the NFL versus the run. What can we do today? So I'm going to do a quick breakdown. I usually have my co-host to do it. So I'm going to write and talk at the same time. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. So obviously, I'm going to give the breakdown between quarterbacks. I'm going to give it to the veteran Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins last year threw for 4,000 yards, threw 30 touchdowns, less than 7 interceptions. As much as I don't like him, Kirk Cousins is a legit top 12, fringe 10, but top 12 to 15 quarterback in the NFL. He's not great in the prime time. He's not great during playoffs, but he puts up numbers. He puts up the number. He gets the wins, man. Can't dispute that. So I'm definitely going to take Minnesota's quarterbacking group over the Bears' running group. I'm not sure if David Montgomery is going to play today, but even if he did, I would probably push on the running back group. But if he doesn't play today, I'm going to err on the side of Minnesota. I like Dalvin Cook a lot more as an all-purpose back than I do Khalil Herbert and Trevis oh Lord, what's that boy name? Ebner. Good God. Receiving crew. Obviously, going to take Minnesota. Now, go back to my Darnell Mooney take on the fact that I think he's a very low one. He's a very high end to mid tier number 2 receiver in the NFL. Dan Orlovsky thought he was number 3. Now, this is rare, but I think he would be a 3 on this Minnesota Vikings team. If Darnell Mooney was on the Minnesota Vikings, he would be a number 3 receiver, and actually he would be a fringe 2 with Adam Thielen because he's a different type of receiver than. But I can name several teams where he'd still clearly be a number 1. I mean, if he played for New England, he's the number 1 receiver in New England. If he played in Detroit, he'd be a number 2. If he played for the Packers, he would be a number 2, maybe number 1 with their number 1 receiver. Shit, if he was with the Giants, he'd be a number 1. So Darnell Mooney is not a number 3 receiver. Dan Orlovsky, as much as I disagree with you, but I do agree with you with some other things that you have said in the past. O-line, Minnesota. We've got some injuries. Cody Whitehair is out today, which means believe Lucas Patrick will start at left guard. We still got Mustafa at center. People have been asking about Alex Leatherwood. He's out. He just had mono at the beginning of the season or some shit. I don't even know how a grown man gets mono, but whatever. But he needs a lot of development. And I don't think he'll be ready until maybe the second half of the NFL season for us. The good news is we get Tevin Jenkins for the entire game today, this afternoon. And we'll have a young line. So we got to see how we hold up with the game plan is from the coaching staff. If I was them, I'd run the damn ball and get Justin on the move. We can't do a whole lot of drop back. Look, that's my producer right there. My producer hates Dan Orlovsky. I think Dan has enough knowledge, obviously, in the game from playing it, whether he was successful or not. He has more knowledge than a lot of us do. I don't think he's trying to get the fan base back. I think he was just telling the truth from his opinion. At the end of the day, you're basing everything from your opinion and your experiences and doing your research. The Bears offense didn't look good this season on paper, and it still doesn't. And it looks exactly how most people thought it would look. So that's what it is. Let's do some more breakdown. D-line for Minnesota versus the Bears. I didn't break down their roster in great detail. So I'm going to err on the side. Actually, I can do it right now, though. Let me see. Who is a standout for Minnesota on defense? Oh, they do have a rookie head coach, though. Kevin O'Connell, former San Diego State quarterback, former New England Patriot quarterback. Kevin O'Connell, I think that's the same guy. Yeah, he played football. Yeah, San Diego State. Oh, man, that guy's young. That guy was born in 85. Man, that makes me feel bad. As a guy who aspires to be a college football coach, to see guys who are my age already coaching in the NFL. He's 37. I'm 37. Oh, man. He just turned 37. He was born in May. So I'm a little older than him. So we were in college at the same time. But he was a damn good college quarterback at San Diego State. The Aztecs, former Aztec, also NFL great running back for the greatest show on turf. Marshall Faulk. Almost had a brain cramp on that one. Let's see this roster. Anyone who stands out on defense. I checked that. Let's go to some comments. Producer, you bring up some comments we got. Parker's Giants tied. Oh, Packers tied. Let's go back. Let me mute my camera real fast so I can move my seat so I can see. I can't believe that one. Who scored? Thank goodness for DVR. Greatest invention known to man. Oh, yes, they sure did. Saquon Barkley? No. Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones. They got in the red zone. No, but it was a run by their backup. I think that's Booker. Is it Booker? I don't know who that backup is. No, that's another guy. Number 28, backup running back scores for them. Outstanding. Go Giants. Never thought I'd be saying that shit. Okay, so who stands out on defense for Minnesota? Um, I'm looking. I don't see any big standouts. They're still pretty a stout defense. Obviously, with the 3-1 record, they're playing well. But anyone that puts any fear into us, actually, based on the offensive line, last week the Bears allowed 6 sacks to a team that only had 3 sacks. 3 sacks the Giants had. I took the Bears O line versus the Giants D line, and I lost. If I had money on it, I would have lost whatever I bet on it because they, the Giants, goddamn D line play like they were goddamn all pros. Even the rookie. Hell, man, this damn tablet is pissing me off. The Bears only have 1 sack. That was from a DB. So I'm going to give it to the Minnesota Vikings. It just, we haven't lived up. Quinn has been quiet. Al-Qadim Muhammad's been quiet. Robinson, the rookie from Miami of Ohio, he's been quiet. Our D tackles have been pretty quiet. Let's see. Minnesota's D line. Oh, they got Jadarius Smith, former Packer. You know what? He's a pretty damn good rusher, obviously. Patrick Jones. Let's see. Jonathan Bulliard. Did we have him? Was he a Bear? Hell yeah, he was a goddamn Bear. They got a Bear on here. Jonathan Bulliard, former Florida Gator. He's on that team. Damn, they got Tonga too? They got Tonga on this damn team? What the hell? Man. Their linebackers, Jordan Hicks, Eric Kendrick. Pretty solid. The cornerbacks, Patrick Peterson's old ass. I mean, he's only old by today's standards. Yeah. So, D-line I'm going to give to how was Devin Cook running game versus other teams? He's been running pretty average. He only has 279 yards in 4 games. I think he even missed a game this year, if I'm not mistaken. But their overall running game is much better. What answer do we have for Justin Jefferson? I don't know if we have any answers. I don't think we have many answers for anything that they can do. If they want to do it, they should be able to do it. I think that the coaching staff has to coach the guys up. I think that as long as they don't spotlight the rookie for us, Kyler Gordon set troubles. I think getting to the quarterback obviously is the answer. The game logs for Cook this year are 90 yards from against Green Bay, 6 carries for 17 yards in the loss to Philly, 96 yards on 17 carries versus Detroit when they beat Detroit, and he had 76 yards on 20 carries versus the Saints. I think he can do all of that. I think that based on how it's been going, the Bears are going to give up 100 yards to Dalvin Cook, and he's going to give back. He's going to hit some type of stride to where he can be successful. The linebacker core I would give to Chicago, just getting back on how breaking down position groups, and I would definitely give the defensive back groups, to Minnesota. They're healthier. We have a lot of injuries. We have a lot of young people on the team right now. All right. Special teams. I don't know. I'm going to say push on that. Just because. Go quick comments. No, let's see what we got. Someone asked about Delvin Cook running game versus other teams. I already answered that. How's Delvin Cook? That's the same question. What answer do we have for Justin Jefferson? That we can get to Kirk Cousins and make him throw interceptions. We kept him in pretty decent check last year with a guy, Thomas Graham. Thomas Graham kept him under check, being the fact that was his first game in live action last year in prime time. I think that was a Sunday night, but he's no longer on our team. He's a Brown. And the answer for Justin, kryptonite. Yep. Thank you, Frank. The answer for Justin Jefferson is kryptonite. We've got to get pressure. The answer to stop great receivers is pressure on their quarterback, who is easily, technically, a very mediocre quarterback, but he plays and he performs like a top 15 quarterback. Well, technically, 15 will make you mediocre because there's only 32 teams in the league. What else we got on the docket for today? People were asking different questions. How are we going to fare? I think that they have the upper hand on paper in all aspects, but it's football, so on paper doesn't mean anything. It's about execution. I think the coaching staff needs to be able to adjust faster, and their adjustments have to be concise, which means that once we see something's not working, we have to stop doing that thing. There isn't any going back to something once you've realized it's not working. Okay, just stop going to it. Kevin O'Connell, hopefully we get him in some rookie mistakes as a head coach, but so far so good. He has a veteran team, and they're playing pretty damn good since they're 3-1. I believe that I've already said it, we got to get pressure. Maybe we need to blitz more. Maybe we need to send more than 4. I've heard people say Al-Qadim Muhammad is the least losing track to the rookie Robinson, and maybe it is. Maybe we need to give Robinson more snaps. I would be all for giving him more snaps on defense. And Quinn, we got to get Quinn. We got to get Quinn off. Quinn has been extremely quiet. I think he has 1 sack in 4 games. Now he's ahead of pace for his first year with the Bears, but he's clearly behind pace with his last year with the Bears, which was a record-setting season. Obviously, breaking the all-time single-season sack total in Bears franchise history. What other groups? Man, everybody's going out today. I'm tired. I want to go back to sleep, but I have to go to work. So after this, I'm probably going to take a nap and then go to work, which is funny because the game starts at noon. Maybe I'll take a 5-hour. Here's a stat I just found. Apparently in 7 games versus the Bears this year in his career, Delvin Cook is averaging about 18 attempts a game with just under 70 yards, and he's not even averaging a touchdown. So that bodes well. That's a pretty damn good stat. Thank you, Football Reference. Just if you could work better on everything else. So that was a stat I didn't know. The Bears have been able to keep him under check. But saying that doesn't matter if the Bears haven't been keeping any other running backs under check this season. Or quarterbacks for that matter. So, come on, ask your questions. It's a little past 11. I'll figure without Brooke, the show might be shorter than typical this week. So get your questions in, get your comments. Come on the show. Producer, if you could drop that link again. I'm going to keep moving on. So, on to my new thing, which is betting. The Bears are a 7.5-point underdog this week. Yes, come on. Come on, guys. Get on. Come on the show. Who's here? That Packer fan that chatted early. Bring your ass on the damn show, man. Tell me about your Packers. What's your name? Junior Kinzabi? I don't know. I'm bad at reading. I'm not going to lie. Come on the show. Give us your 2 cents. Vernon Fairley. Come on the show, man. Come tune in. Drop your opinion. Come yell at me about me criticizing the fans and their mindset about our quarterback Justin Fields from last week. Bears are 7.5-point underdogs, which is semi-standard in the fact that the home team will get 3, and then the Bears are 2-2, not looking good. The Vikings are 3-1, looking solidly better than us, so they get 7.5. But I'll take that 7.5 based on last week, based on how they're looking in Minnesota, an away game. I probably would take Minnesota. I would take Minnesota plus 7.5. I'm sorry, minus 7.5. The Bears are plus because they're the underdog. The Bears are plus 290. You could win some money if you took them, but you would have to bet quite a bit, more than $100 to get some action off of that. But obviously, I would take the money line on Minnesota as well. And the over/under is 44.5. So I definitely would take the over. I think that Minnesota's going to score enough. Maybe the Bears can get 20 points, but definitely Minnesota should be able to score. Excuse me, just type in. No dead time. It's hard typing and talking. Actually, I'm just gonna say it. My producer can hear me. It's 11:06. We got a few segments left. We've got the betting, which I'm going to finish as soon as I come back, and we've got our predictions for me. We already got Brooke's prediction. If you know those who didn't hear what we were saying, and then the outro. So we're going to break the show a little early, but I need to take at least 2 minutes to go run to do something. So I'll be right back for a quick run. Sorry, guys.
There was a time when high standards prevailed, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. Acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
Listen, shout out to my man Terrence from Chicago's Clubhouse Podcast, from the Moore's Brewing Company here in Chicago, Illinois. All right, we got bros out here putting out this for the Moors. It's tasty. I didn't even have to come on here lying about this. All right, this tastes like what I like when I drink a beer. I don't drink a beer often because I'm too big and I need to stay off of carbonated drinks. But this is the carbonated drink you need to open up and crack and take a sip. All right, if you want to come out of the dark ages, be educated. All right, get you some of this Moore's brew right here. It's definitely tasty. You can get it in Kimbark and High Park.
Whoa. I thought we were a team. Where's Mines? And when are we getting in Tempe, Arizona?
I guess we're going to have to find out, man. But everybody out there, for here from Chicago, go to Kimbark and pick you up some Moore's.
Oh. Thank you, producer. So, as I was saying, Moore's Beer is one of our network sponsors. Not this particular show sponsor, which is okay. Our particular show sponsors is Be the Miracle, I believe, Under Armour, and I think Tilly's. But I do drink. I do drink Moore's Beer. This is the Indian Pale Ale. It's an amazing beer. I stopped. There we go. Hey, I see you, producer. Yeah, we on deck. So we gonna Y'all can hear that maybe. Gonna pop that. Back to the betting line real fast. Like I said, the Bears are 7.5 underdog. I don't see them keeping the game that close. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I lost last week, so it's anything possible. But if I had to put money on it, I would bet. Minnesota minus 7.5. I wouldn't take the money line on the Bears unless you're just taking a shot. You got some money to lose, and you figure, hey, I'm gonna take a crapshoot, put $50, 100, 150 bucks on the Bears to make a good profit. But I would take the over under, which is 44.5. Let's see. I'm sorry, none in the suburbs, Frank. I'm going to bring you some, Frank. I'm working on it. I promise you, Frank, I'm working on bringing you some more. I'm working on it. Also, I made me a cocktail. I have to work today, so I'm going to drink early. For those who like to know what I mix drinks occasionally, I used to have I had a bigger bar, but it started to dwindle. With the new baby and all, it's not like I get to enjoy the drinks with my lady. But yeah, I drink sake. So this is pretty much coconut rum, sake, lemonade, and orange juice. I don't know what I call it, but I call it delicious. That's going to be my two drinks. Don't forget the Moors, obviously. So let's go ahead and just get my prediction for this week's game. Brooke said 32-17. Minnesota this year, their offense is they haven't broken the 30-point threshold, and I think the Bears defense is better than Detroit's defense. And they only scored 28 versus the Saints. So I'm not going to have them scoring that much. So this is what I'll do. And then my pen doesn't work. I like to keep notes of this for the record. 27-17. I'll take Minnesota 27-17 over the Bears. Brooks got them 32-17, so we both got them scoring 17. 27-17 still allows us to be off for the over, which is 44.5. That's my prediction. If anybody else would like to chime in with their prediction so I can state that, that'd be great. Frank, you drinking whiskey? My man, what kind of whiskey? I got some whiskey on deck back here somewhere. Yes, jump on a live stream. Please come on with us the last few minutes of the show. Since we're talking alcohol and Bears in Minnesota, Brooke is enjoying her time in Minnesota at their stadium for the home game with her lovely daughter. Hope they're having a great. We need more of that. We need more moms taking daughters to football games, man. That's freaking awesome. I got some black and gold sake here. Black and gold. There we go. Let me see if I can do something different with my light. There we go. Black and gold. Pretty inexpensive bottle, but it's pretty good. I like to drink my sake on the rocks. Frank, you got Vikings 27-20. That's what's up, man. I'll take that. That's a different light. That's not what I wanted to do. Not as bright. Okay. And then I still haven't cracked this bottle of whiskey back here. Got some Screwball. I still got some Jim Beam Double Oak. I haven't cracked that. I don't know what I'm waiting on. It's not like it's a super rare bottle. But I've been drinking light, man. A lot of work. So, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to break us out with my outro. Shout out to our sponsors, Under Armour, Tilly's, and Be the Miracle. I got it right this week. God damn. Shout out to Brooke coming to us, opening the show live from Minnesota. She's there taking in a game with her daughter. Go Bears, bear down, go Brooke. Root for those Bears. She got her leggings on and her Bears jerseys while her daughter's rocking the goddamn Aaron Rodgers jersey. A quick score update. Oh my goodness. The Giants are up 27-20. 27-20 on the Giants. I'm sorry, the Giants up 27-20 on the Packers. Oh, what happened? I got to rewind this bad boy. Oh, man. Quick update. It was 2020. Saquon Barkley's back in the game. It was 2020. About 4 minutes. Daniel Jones. Man, Daniel Jones has been on a hot streak right now. Brian Daboll coaching him up. Anyway, Saquon Barkley's back. He's healthy. Touchdown, Giants. Oh, my goodness. It is under 2 minutes. The Giants are beating the Green Bay Packers. Go Giants. Anything Green Bay. Boo. Fuck them. F Green Bay. I take that all day, man. Take that all day. Yeah, Packers are driving. So, Be the Miracle, Tilly's, Under Armour. Shout out to Moore's. See that? Moore's Beer. Shout out. This is the Pale Ale. I like it, man. Check your local liquor store. Benny's Depot. Benny's Beverage Depot has it as well. Frank, we're going to get you some. I promise. No one cares about you, Frank. I do. Who else is commenting? Packers at the 23. Anyway, yeah. Also, can't forget my sake cocktail for the day. Shout out to my producer today. Obviously, like I said, shout out to Brooke. Shout out to all our people who commented today. Stay tuned in. Next week, I think the Bears have a Thursday night game. I don't know how we're going to do the Thursday night game next week. I'm going to be honest. I work on Thursdays, and on top of working on Thursdays, I also coach. And I have a game. I don't know if I'm going to be off in 2.5 hours before the game starts. I have, I think, my season finale with my team, DuSable High School, next Thursday. But I definitely will keep you in the loop of how we're going to do it. Maybe we'll bring you an early show on a Wednesday. I don't know. Producer, you got any ideas? Excuse me. You want to come on, producer? What we got in store for them on this coming up Thursday? Thursday Night Football? No, you don't have to. It's all right. You're muted. You're muted.
I'm not sure what we're going to do, but it is going to be a blast, whatever it is, and we will just have to stay tuned to find out.
Guaranteed, guaranteed. Yes, make sure to like and subscribe. I can't forget that. Like and subscribe. Please, we need the subscribers. We have shows. Plunk just stopped. Plunk was our baseball show that was on every week. But Tuesday, we have interviews with our producer, T-Nick, and the rest of the crew, JB, and a bunch of other guys. We have a guest star. We have ex-Chicago athletes, whether they play for Chicago, they're from Chicago, they love Chicago, they're coming on. We have entertainers. We had Jason Weaver, a Chicago-born actor, singer. He was on about a month ago. We have a lot of people on. She Said What She Said is on Wednesday with our Sherry Green. We call her Cher Bear. She's a Detroit. Hey, Sherry, what you think about your Lions? I know they're not winning, but shit, they score points. They score a lot of points. They score more points right now than the Matthew Stafford Lions do or did. Sherry, chime in one day for us. That's pretty much it. I don't know if any other shows on the network are in season. Like I said, Plunk just stopped. I know we had a show on Sunday, or was it Saturday? But I don't think it's in season for that particular show. And soon, I believe we'll be bringing you a Chicago Clubhouse Presents Bears post-game show. I'm not going to lie. I will not be on the post-game show because typically I'm already 5-6 beers, 3-4 drinks in. I don't know how coherent I'll be for a post-game show, but that's coming soon. If I'm not misspeaking, we will be bringing you a Chicago Clubhouse post-game Bears show. So I almost made it to full hour and a half. It's about 11:20 Central Standard Time. From all of us here, Chicago Clubhouse Network, the Chicago Bears Clubhouse Show. I'm sure Brooke would say it. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe, like. Tell your friends and family. Tell your Bears fans. Even if you type in on YouTube, Bears Pregame Show. We're not the first video, but we are. If you like, subscribe, we'll get notifications, and you can tune in. Please don't be ever afraid to chime in the comments, and more shows to come. We will allow fans to come on and give us their 2 cents. I know all of y'all came to see Brooke any damn way. I'm not the money maker here. Brooke is. So, from me to all of you, I'm going to sign out. Enjoy your Sunday. Bear down, even though I got the Bears losing, but bear down anyway. Go Justin Fields, progressing. Go coach and staff. And
Are you sure you really want to do it? Volleyball. Run through your belly into it. With volleyball, then yeah.
Oh God, I'm gonna fall on my ass.
I got you. I would never drop a Bears fan.
Just like
Volleyball. You're gonna run and jump. Oh, come on! Brooke.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.